Assalamu alaikum to all of you, my dear students, for class 11th, subject zoology. In continuation to human physiology chapter, we are dealing with locomotion and movements. The topic which we have to take into consideration today, that is movements and locomotion, the striated muscles, unstriated muscles, and the cardiac muscles. This is the muscle system which we are dealing today in the body locomotion and movement. The muscle system consists of muscle tissue. This is the most abundant tissue in most animals. Human body has some 639 separate muscles. There are 639 separate muscles which make up 40% to 50% body by weight. According to the weight of the body, movements in the majority of animals are brought about by the muscle tissue. This tissue consists of long, narrow, highly specialized cells called as muscle fibers. The latter have some distinguishing properties. Those distinguishing properties are that these muscle fibers are contractile. The property is called as contractility. One more property is there. They are having electrical excitability. Electrical excitability. That they can be excited by electric means. One more thing is there. They have the property of extensibility. They are extensible. One more is there. They have the elasticity. These muscle tissues and muscle fibers are elastic in nature. The electrical excitability is due to the energy stored in an electrical potential difference across the plasma membrane. That is why they show the electrical excitability, because of the potential difference. A chemical transmitter released at a neurotransmitter junction, synapse between a motor neuron and a muscle fiber, excites the muscle fiber's membrane, which depolarizes in response. The excitation in the membrane initiates contraction in the muscle fiber. This is the excitation due to the potential difference that leads to the contraction of the muscle fiber. The study of muscle tissue or the muscles, their structure, ultimate structure, microscopic structure, as well as their properties, this is called as myology. That branch of physiology is called as myology. Based upon the structure and function, the muscles are of three types, especially their location. The muscle tissues in vertebrates are of three types. The first type is striated muscle. The second type is smooth muscle. The third type is cardiac muscle. Striated muscle, smooth muscle, and cardiac muscle. Smooth muscles are also called as visceral muscles. Striated muscles are also called as striped muscles because they have striations on their surface due to what we call as the different types of proteins present in them and different types of concentration of the protein substances. They have the striations, just like the striations on the body of the tiger with the skin. This is all about the types of muscles and their general introduction. But so far the striated muscles are concerned, this is the example of a striated muscle in front of you. It causes limb movements and locomotion in the vertebrates. It is attached to and functions in association with the skeleton. Hence it is also called as skeletal muscle. This striated muscle is also called as skeletal muscle because it is in collaboration with the skeletal system of the body and functions in collaboration with that very system. The two ends of a muscle are typically attached to two different bones, and the contraction of the muscle draws one bone toward the other like a lever. This moves the part of the limb that contains the bone, which is pulled in the process. The joint between the two bones acts as the fulcrum of the lever. Striated muscles, also known as the voluntary muscles, as their activities are under the voluntary control of the nervous system. These muscles are also called as voluntary muscles. They are present in the thighs, they are present in the neck, they are present in our fingers, they are present in our fore and hind limbs, and they are under the voluntary control, that is under the wish control of the brain. So far the structure of a striated muscle is concerned. The structure is in front of you. For example, this is the forelimb. These are the muscle cells. The muscle cells contain the myofilaments. This is structure of a myofilament structure, and lastly forms the myofibril. The myofibril structure, the myofibrils form the myofilaments. These muscles are cylindrical, multinucleate, having large number of nuclei, bounded by sarcolemma. The muscle cells are bound by sarcolemma, just like the plasma lemma, and contain its cytoplasm. That cytoplasm is called as sarcoplasm. They also contain endoplasmic reticulum. That endoplasmic reticulum is called as sarcoplasmic reticulum. A striated muscle fiber shows alternating dark and light cross bands. These are dark and light cross bands which are clearly seen in the muscle cell in its filaments. The striations or stripes under the microscope are clearly visible. That is why these are called as striated muscles, due to striations or dark and light bands. Dark band is called A band. This band is called the A band. Dark band. This is called the A band. It has its middle end light zone termed edge zone. The middle end is called the edge zone. The zone of the A band, which is in the middle, that is edge zone. A thin MI line interconnects the primary myofilaments in the edge zone. Light band is known as I band. These are I bands. The light bands. These are also called as I bands. It is crossed through its center by a dark membrane called the Z line. The Z line crosses it. The part of the muscle fiber between two successive Z lines functions as a contractile unit called termed sarcomere. The latter consists of A band and half of each adjacent I band. Invaginations called T-tubules of sarcolemma extend into the muscle fiber adjacent to Z line. This is clearly visible from the diagram in front of you. Each sarcomere is a bundle of the longitudinal myofilaments of two types. Those two types are called as primary myofilaments and secondary myofilaments. The gross structure of a muscle fiber, striated muscle fiber, can be clearly seen. This is the first diagram, is the diagram of the muscles of the limbs. Next is the muscle cells. Muscle cells contain the small filaments that can be drawn from it. Later on, this is the structure of a myofibril. The myofibril contains myofilaments which have the Z bands, A bands, light striations and dark striations which can be clearly seen. That's all for today.